All right, you're listening to 90 Camper WAIH City Collective. Visit our click line 315-267-2511. Our Facebook page is 3WAIH. Our Instagram Twitter handle is 90PLNC3 WAIH. And this is an interview hour on the show. So keep in mind that anything we say is not reflective of 90 FM. My dear friends, Hailstone really doesn't give me. And the reason that we do it is similar to that. But today, it's a little bit but what will you see? Well, I'm very excited because I was stuff. I think the reason that I got my friend kept pestering me, not pestering me like annoying, she was coming at me, and I did, and I liked it. But then they never did that. And Hailstone and she heard through the grapevine, probably from they never heard about Mad Fest, and I was like, yo, this is a thing. And then she sprung it on me and everybody else, and now we're doing it. Sorry I just got so excited. I'm very happy. Out of curiosity, let's just start with you. What about Mad Fest made you want to how do you do? I guess it depends. What made you want to my question, what do you think is going to be different from what about that other concerts? Considering I am in the city, freshman, I do not have any memories of Mad Fest from long ago. But what I do understand is that it typically was, maybe 2-3 bands, maybe 4 bands, and some. I think most part they were from out of town. I don't even know if they were actually Mad Stop artists. So this is Mad Fest, like Mad Stop Festival. We toyed around with the idea of originally only having Mad Stop artists do Mad Fest, and that makes the show go. Yes, so it basically was letting reach out.
I've been drinking with forces of the sheep, killing. Get your pages in their sleep, get some feelings that truly bothers me. I can save them, I know I can. That's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Honey, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. I've been lonely, I've been trying not to show the pain you caused me. You really shut me down like a butterfly, being stung to death by bees. That's an image no one wants to see. That's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Honey, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Hey, it's just another sunny day where I'm at. My head is in the clouds cause I'm stretching out my neck. I I wake up in the morning to a protein shake. Do 20 minutes calisthenics and I'm out to the. That's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Honey, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. Oh, that's what you get for sticking at your neck. And that's what you get for sticking at your neck. And that's what you get for sticking at your neck. And that's what you get for sticking at your neck. And that's what you get for sticking at your neck.
Silly. Gonna be after a Saturday evening. You know how the little
Yeah.
cuties get.
In the
So
row.
they're gonna be coming to the union to get like quesadillas
For real.
and like other things, but like
Peace for music, nigga. Know that.
So like I think
Yeah.
we'll be able to help some people.
Every morning I wake
Also,
up, I look to the skies above and thank God for another day. Every night before I go to sleep, I look up to the stars and I pray.
3 trainees.
It don't matter if you're a scared nigga,
Not good at that.
real nigga, or the mother of a dead nigga. You still look to the sky when you pray. Know that.
Well, I mean, if you do.
Birds chirping, junkies lurking, trying to find they crack rock. I'm in the kitchen helping my little niece stack up a lunchbox. Still do or die around these parts, so my gun cock. Never know who might approach while standing at a bus stop. Kiss her on the forehead, tell her make her uncle proud. Right after I hug her neck, I fat up my blood alive. Last time I hit the block, take my chances selling rock. I'm already 5 hot, just had her running with the cops. No. Staying off into the sky, smoking cushion till I'm hot. Watching my life pass me by, I'm still trying to figure why. My mama serving fast food, she working till her body tired. Do it all tomorrow, got too much pride to borrow. I'm selling drugs to my fam with no remorse or sorrow. Just trying to buy some time, cause we ain't promised tomorrow. My cousin car got repoed, cause he ain't pay his car note. I'm knee deep in the dope game, better money in my cargo.
You know how sometimes demos sound nothing like the actual song, like My Chemical Romance, but
Reminiscing about some days, holding hands with my mama, walking on that playground. Now I'm caught up in that drama, just a statistic, uplifting niggas' spirits. I was born with that gift to paint these pictures with my lyrics. I've been diagnosed with sickness, with none of y'all permission. I used to get beat with switches, now we beat niggas for tennis. I'm gone off that women, and arms reaching my ceiling. Paranoid, schizophrenic, pray the Lord y'all forgive me. Shit, I'm just a lost bird, flying on the wrong path. My nigga whipping chickens, making it jump back a whole half. Feeding pigeons with my niece, I'm trying to help her with a math. Birds of a feather flock together, I'm so fucking glad I turned out the way I did, without the help of my dad. Now I'm all alone, blowing strong in my bachelor pad. Big house on the top floor, I can't see shit but these birds. They told me that I can fly, now my body on the curve. Word.
And like bringing not just like the experience of
Every night I hit my knees, I just pray that God turn me into a bird. I fly away.
But like they'll know it's
Every
fun.
night I hit my knees, I just pray that God turn me into a bird. I fly away. Every night I hit my knees, I just pray that God turn me into a bird. I fly away. Every night I hit my knees, I just pray that God turn me into a bird. I fly away. No way.
I'm like, I've gotten to this discussion with people friends and a little bit with Matt during the interviews, but I'm a senior now. And when I was a freshman, sophomore year, the music scene, I don't want to say it was down and out, but back when like that culture was a bigger thing, I mean, they had shows frequently because it was just a bunch of times with their bringing their friends to come and perform and have shows. It feels like that interest has died out. It seems like, controversial bullying with house shows, for example. It seems like people will come to support their friends and they'll leave, because that's all they really want to do. And even like, it's one thing thing if it's like, you know, a 5 or 6 hour show, but if it's just a few hours, it's all about supporting their idea, because out there if we're only interested in something. So personally, I want to do this, and I know that, you know, Rowan's a project. I know that is so like stoked about his development. I'm excited. So it kind of gets cool because we have a lot of things. But as someone who is here and is in a business, what is your ever wondered what considering what's I my fear is like having like a like your friend you've been here for 3 hours like you're sitting there and checking out but like I also I think that we have to get I feel like the aesthetic as very much a focus we should take it seriously as a record label, as kind of like a serious organization. Take this seriously. I feel like it's a weird example, but very for example, college radio, it matters, but you know, we're like a small little station, and although radio overall is still we're like kind of like really kind of like doing this for fun, and some of us are doing it for success. There are places that we're going to go to take where others will just kind of dance. So we kind of had this very like and like we thought it was just really, it was kind of more thing. Very serious, like up. WRIGHT feeling such like that was sick. And it was dark in there too, so it was a little dangerous. But it'll be light outside. Well, I guess at night it's too. But I just want to want people to be able to just kind of let loose for just one day, even like have their just like let loose for one day and just be a teenager, high school, going to a red jumpsuit apparatus. You know what I mean? You know what that means? It's time for our next segment where we speak about so in the past, this was actually what we did for the first manifest. The first year, we did have Lucas coming up and speaking. The first year, we had alumni. I believe the basis for the band Circadian Rhythm went here. I believe he was a
When danger is imminent, will you be prepared? Now many mobile devices can bring you critical information from local sources you trust. With the unique sound and vibration, wireless emergency alerts keep you in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
So if you would that would be yeah, that's it. That's obviously one of the biggest things. Fun fact, that you're very proud of. Which is awesome. Because although you're not a budget is and so it kind of like probably is pretty pushing for it, but when I think about fundraising, I just think about bake sales and car washes and things that, some people just don't really feel like participating in. For this Mad Fest, that's definitely been an issue, but I guess we're just hurdling because luckily we've had a lot of participation with other clubs and different things. So we're not alone on this. We're not entirely carrying this air quote burden alone, but I think in the future, fundraising is definitely going to be necessary. And as you say, we are financially independent, and every bit, anything we earn definitely gets used to the future.
Yeah.
Of Mad Stop Records.
The future of SUNY Potsdam's on-campus record label.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like kind of excites me that we're starting to. I don't know how long we've done I know that I believe we've always had concerts, but I don't know how long we've done things like Three Bears and stuff like that, and had little concerts in town. But I think it's good that we're starting to reach out to artists that aren't just Mad Stop artists, because it kind of adds a new dimension of what we do. Because if we just record people, it's oh, those guys, but we're also a record label. And I feel like a lot of our artists don't even kind of realize like we're here to like not just record you, but we want to also promote your music and like get people to want to like go on Spotify and listen and like buy your physical copies if you have any. Because like we're students, and it's like not all of us are students. We actually do record people in town as well, which is great. Like, you know, you're building your artist portfolio. We're building our resumes. We want to be like, we want to be the audio engineers you deserve. Not that you need, but you deserve. Well, I guess that I don't know. I don't really know how that saying goes.
Maybe you need and deserve them.
Need and deserve. You want to be what you want. Gucci.
I mean, yeah, that's a big thing because MadFest, as I said, came from this thing called the Artists Concert Committee because we were like, listen, we want to offer our artists more promotion. We want to offer them a really great show. And that's where this came from because we had a committee of people that were like, yeah, this is definitely something we want to do. And MadFest is just a giant giant that because we're going to get as many people as we can out there because we want you to download them on SoundCloud and listen to them on Spotify and all of the other obscure things that what does Ned have?
Oh yeah, Deezer.
On? Yep.
Tidal.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, Disco Kid. I've heard through the grapevine. I think a majority of our Podsdam artists, because I didn't know how easy it was to get on streaming services. So like PSA to any musicians out there, there are a lot of services you can use, but one of the best ones I've heard is DistroKid. And there are certain services where it'll make you pay per like thing that you put up. But with DistroKid, I think they just take some of your royalties, but you pay $20 and you can put an unlimited amount of music.
And CD Baby.
It's like, yeah, CD Baby is pretty good too. And they have like, you can get like physicals from them as well, which is great. So it's like super easy to get your stuff out there. The hardest part is promoting it and getting people to want to listen, because you could be like the best artist in the world, but if you don't have marketing, no one's going to know you exist and it's not going to matter. So we want to help you promote because it's hard to just do it by yourself. You know? Because we want to be your friend.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're selective. But yeah. So fun facts about Mad Step. There was a point in time where although like we do music and we here at the Way do music, there was a point in time where we just didn't work together. And that's kind of silly. And the reason I think that's silly is because, I accidentally joined them together. I didn't mean to. I joined them both at the same time. And I was like, this is so cool. We should like kind of like do stuff together. And everyone was like, oh, I guess so. No one really like, I don't know. It was almost as if it wasn't a thought when I was like a freshman or a sophomore. So like as kind of like a liaison, I'm like, I mean, well, this is kind of like what I'm doing is like the interviews, but I want to try to find ways to, not just for MadFest in the future, but for our events in general, maybe help promote events by having artists come in and do more interviews, or having e-board members come in and see how we can collaborate with the radio station and like bring a dope experience to everybody on campus and off campus. We want to satisfy everybody. Our radio station reaches about 10 miles.
I know.
So I want
to hear it at home, but it's like, 80 miles. Oh,
it's a struggle. It's a little far away, but we want to be able to like, reach out to like crowds that go beyond what we're just interested in. So we want to start trying to show that, it's not just a bunch of cute little indie kids, because that is what we are. No, but we don't just like, we're not just indie, and like,
we're not the only ones.
And, I want like townsfolk to hear us and be like, oh, this is good, and to hear our up and coming artists in the area and want to support them. Because it's hard enough to get enough, there's so many people on this campus. It's hard enough to spread the word here, but to do it in town, like there's like adults out there living their lives. But that doesn't mean they can't like download Spotify and start jamming out to some Koopa Francis or some Rowan Kingsbury or some Evil Sweet, some sweet tunes with the sweet, But I guess like,
no, that's been a big thing with the marketing, because it's like, I know what I would enjoy, but what about that kid that is the complete opposite of me? So I've tried hard, I like aesthetics, but I've tried hard to avoid that with MadFest, because I want everybody to find something in there that they're interested in, but you can't please everyone. So then it's like, I got to focus on my audience, but here we are.
I think like it'd be great to find ways to satisfy. I mean, obviously you can't satisfy everyone. There's only, for now we have a pretty small budget. Hopefully in coming years we'll kind of grow that budget and be like, we have all, but I do want to find ways, like simple ways
coming to you next year.
Yeah,
Mad Fest, obviously.
Like just cute little things like that, cute little little remembrances of the event. Like for Springfest a few years ago, SCS had bottle openers. We actually had drink cozies and bottle openers, and I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, that's cute, and then I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like something cute, like a keychain that people are gonna keep on them. I talked about this on Ned's interview. Joey Small makes chapsticks, and it seems like such a silly thing, but like, years from now when you're like just randomly kind of going through your cosmetics and you just find a little chapstick, you're like, what is this? And you look at it, it's like Joey Small. Oh, I remember Joey Small. I wonder what he's doing now. And you like go look at his music. You know what I mean? Like it's cute little things like that. And it's memorable too, because like if he had like wristbands, I wouldn't be talking about it because everyone does that. Like my band did that last year and it's like, it's cool, but it's like, I don't know, everybody does that, everyone does things like stickers, and as vital as they are, you have to think outside the box when it comes to your marketing. You need to find ways to like be memorable in people's heads. And like chapstick,
that'll do it.
It sounds silly, but the
chapstick, that stuff's pretty good.
It does raspberry.
Raspberry.
But as silly as it sounds, chapstick is not exclusive. Like chapstick isn't just used by college kids. Like it, like
what?
Senior citizens could have this chapstick and be like, "Oh, Joey Small, that's some interesting music you got there, boy." Or like kids in high school use chapstick as well. Moms use chapstick. Dads use chapstick too sometimes if their lips are a little dry. So like, it's a silly way to like catch attention from like more than just like a small crowd of people. Do you think going forward, besides MadFest merch, because I know a lot of our artists kind of take care of merchandise on their own, do you think we'll ever reach a point where we can, I don't know, find ways to maybe make merchandise for our artists or help them sell their art, their stuff? Like maybe make an online website type of thing where it's kind of like an Amazon before our artists kind of thing. Like, you think that's like a direction we could maybe go in the future?
I mean, not to toot our own horn, but we have a button maker, so
we do have a
merch
button maker.
Is being made. No, just kidding. It's not functional. But
unfortunately,
I would really love to get to that place. I feel like the club is very close to stepping in a lot of directions. Like we talked about investing in a club camera, for example.
Yes,
that'd be big. I mean, eventually, who knows? Who knows what we could invest in to make more merch? Like, I don't know, CD burning center. I don't know. If that's legal.
Oh, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah,
I would love to. I would.
We got the files. We made them files.
That's true.
So
in their purest form. And the great thing about CDs that I learned, CDs are some of the best. Actually, vinyls are the best copy of music that you can hear because they are like.
That's actually what we're gonna sell next year.
Everybody. That would be fun.
Vinyls.
But vinyls and CDs are like about as good as vinyls, but vinyls you're like putting the music right into it. You're like carving the music right into it. Whereas when you put stuff, and I learned this in my recording class and I was very like shocked, but when you put your music on Spotify and like Apple Music and iTunes, for example, it compresses, they have to compress it and they make it MP3s, and MP3 is not as full when it comes to the original wave track that you make when you mix the music. But on CDs, you can put the waves right on there and they're good quality. So when you actually burn your CD to back in the day when you would like burn your CD to your iTunes, it would be better quality than if you bought it on iTunes. And even like Spotify and Apple Music, they still compress to an extent. And one of the best quality streaming services, surprisingly, is YouTube Red. And I don't say surprisingly in a bad way. I mean surprisingly because like I feel like YouTube Red, when it first started, everyone was like, what is this? But people genuinely use it now, not only for their shows, but like for music, because it's like one of the best quality places you can hear it. Kind of just, that was random, just a little tidbit of information for people interested. So it's great to put your music on streaming services and promote it through YouTube because it will be good quality on there, which is great. Yeah, like it's unfortunate that like technology kind of was just like, oh, forget you. I'm gonna compress your song. It's not gonna sound as good as it originally did. So it'd be cool to like, reach out and start selling like CDs and stuff. Even like Joey, like when he made his CDs and he made his little hard drives, he like bulk ordered a bunch of like flash drives with his music. Yeah. He had to compress it to put it on there. And so like even though like he was giving them away for free, he was like, yeah, like unfortunately they're not the best quality, but like the CDs are good quality. So it would be really cool to just kind of have like a little line of like Mad Stop CDs, like have an event and have like a little stand and like have the money like go to our artists in some way, you know, or even just like have more. I mean, I
would love.
I feel
more
like it'd
Mad
be a
Stop
little
merch.
yeah, I
whether
would
it be
yeah.
CDs or like a cool hat or something. I don't know.
Something that as and you know, since you're an audio engineer, I want to bring this to your attention because you're kind of the future. You're kind of the future of Mad Stop. Because like, you know, myself and so many people are graduating. Back in the day, we used to do compilations, and we actually have a Christmas or a winter holiday compilation album on our SoundCloud.
About that.
And like Dad Culture used to do this too, where they would have their artists kind of contribute a song, whether it was an album song or just a random single or like a holiday song or something like that, or a cover. I think it'd be really great to kind of have people sample our artists and say like, hey, do you have any tracks that you don't want on your album? Or do you have any singles that you're going to release? Would you be interested in putting them on this compilation? So when people say like, who do you record? Like, what kind of music do you record? We can just hand them a little CD or give them a Spotify link of all of our artists and how they sound, and have this this diverse little CD of like the minds of like dozens of Potsdam students and like people who live in the Potsdam area. I almost said Potsdam livers, but that's incorrect. Which, like, and I'm trying to think of like I was trying to think of like a pun to be like, oh, all jokes set aside, but it was gonna be like
it's okay.
It's not not as funny when you explain it. But anyway, all jokes set aside. I do want to find a way to get our music out there more, which is why I like on Spotify. And it's hard because like Spotify is the easiest because you can just make an account on there. But, you know, make like playlists of our artists. I have like a few. I actually made a YouTube playlist too. I'm the marketing chair, by the way. Fun fact: I am the chief marketing officer of Mad Stop Records. Check out our YouTube channel. I have playlists on there of our artists who have their music on streaming services because it ends up on YouTube. I have playlists of like their albums. So, like for example, Jackson Cavalier's albums are on there. Ian Strauss's album is on there. Joey Small and his music videos are on there. Ned Greeno's on there. Evil Sweet's on there. Lone Pine Mall's single is on there. False Whales is on there, not because of streaming services, but because we uploaded it. And it's just great. It's just a mishmash of our music. So check it out because we don't have many subscribers because we don't really upload. We kind of just like make playlists. But go check us out. Go give our artists a listen.
The thing I have to say about this stuff is I totally think that's a great idea. I guess not to plug it back in again, but with Mad Fest, we were thinking of having
it's a sampler right there,
a whole album of like the artists of that day. So anybody who's listening, let us know if you think that would be a great idea.
Give us feedback.
We would love to do that. We think that would be a lot of fun. We know some people in the basements who could CD burn things, but anyways, that's besides the point. No, I think that would be really cool. I've thought about other things like on Instagram, you know, the highlights where the cool kids look to see the cool things. We could have our engineers and their sounds and maybe like links or at least recommendations to songs that they've recorded so people know what they're getting into when they record with that artist. Even though our guy who does a lot of the punk stuff has been recording classical for the school lately. So we're very versatile.
Which is really great. Yeah. And we actually I believe we just recorded Latin Ensemble too, which is really, and we recorded them in the past as well. So it's really exciting to see like how we handle different genres of music and how that affects our engineers' decisions of like different forms of like reverberation or like room sound or something like that in comparison to like a grunge, like something like grunge or something acoustic. Really quick before we continue to discuss the future of our engineering, I just want to give you all a friendly reminder. You are listening to, if you're live streaming, you're watching. Fun fact. You're listening to 90.3 FM WAIH, The Way at SUNY Potsdam. You can reach the Dark Quest line, 315-267-2511, and tell us what songs you want to hear. Our Facebook is facebook.com/90.3 WAIH, and our Instagram and Twitter handles are 90POINT3 WAIH. Friendly reminder, as I said before, this is an interview, so nothing we say is reflective of SUNY Potsdam as a whole or the radio station as a whole. We're just kind of shooting the breeze, talking about some really cool stuff, talking about the music on campus. If you want to join the discussion, you can always join the radio station. You can call in, ask us questions, or you can join Mad Stop. And that's why we're here today, if you are just now starting to listen. Friendly reminder. I'm DJ Right Shoe. I've said friendly reminder 3 times, but I'm trying to be polite, you know.
Polite reminder.
You know. I'm DJ Right Shoe, and I'm here with my pal Hale Stone from Mad Stop Records, and we've been talking about MadFest, and we've been talking about Mad Stop, but now we're going to start talking about our feelings.
Oh.
Out of curiosity, because I know that you're in Crane.
Oh no.
I know that you're in Crane. I know that you also do your own music, and now you're also in Ned's band.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you came to Potsdam because of Crane. But did you have any idea like what the local music scene was? Did you anticipate, you know, being in a like ending up in a band, or maybe even making your own band someday and getting people to perform with you, or was it kind of more like you're here to focus on your studies kind of thing?
Well, I've never been one to focus on my studies, so I'm just going to eliminate that one real lickety split. But no, me coming here and discussing this with other people, it was a lot of like, well, you put a lot of musically talented people in one place, and I assume the end of that equation would be a good music scene. You never know. But yeah, I didn't expect to get into. I mean, sure in my mind I was thinking this would be ideal, but I wasn't like, yep, I'm gonna get into a band, and I didn't really know if anybody else was ever gonna be in my band. I don't have one. Disclaimer: does not have a band, but would like a band someday. But oh, is that a raised hand I see over yonder?
You bet.
But
we'll talk later.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you my card.
Oh, cool. Is that an index card with your number on it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you need. Yeah. But yeah, like on my own end, I think I got into the music scene by accident.
Oops.
I mean, I joined Mad Stop, you know. I mean, I joined Mad Stop because of my friend, but I got into the music. I didn't know anything about the music scene. I kind of was just like, music major. This is gonna be so fun, and it's a life of pain. I mean, every major is a life of pain, but like, I was gung ho, man, and now I'm struggling. But anyway, I did music by accident, and I'm glad that I did. As much of it, not really an accident, it was more like, oh, sure, why not? Like, my friend was like, do you play guitar? And I was like, no. And he's like, let's start a band. And I was like, okay. But because of that, I got to meet the local music scene, and we kind of accidentally mended the relationship between the dad culture scene and the Mad Stop scene and the Mad Stop scene and the Way scene and the SES scene. And like, you know, I think that we're kind of all friends accidentally. Not accidentally, but like we were friends, and like, oh, I'm going to run for, you know, our friend Josh. I think there was one year where Josh was president of PMBC, Joey was CEO, I was vice president of SES, and Cameron was station manager. And I'm naming names of people that people might not know, but we're all like, I mean, we're all a friend group somewhere. And because we are essentially kind of running these clubs together, we're being more open to the idea of collaboration and giving each other our artists, and like sending Mad Stop artists to the Way. Or sending Mad Stop artists to PMBC, or having PMBC cover artists that we could potentially start recording at Mad Stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just like this big cycle of like, we like support the local music scene. So it's like really exciting, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm curious about is right now you're in Mad Stop, and like, you know, you probably like have a pretty busy workload. You probably are going to have a busy workload next year. A lot of people say that sophomore and junior years in Crane are some of the worst. But do you have any plans to start maybe branching out to these clubs to maybe get like the inside scoop, or become like a liaison, or just find ways to get the artists that you're working with a little more attention on and off campus?
I honestly would like to be in all these clubs, but
it's hard. It's hard.
It's not hard, honestly. It's just the meeting times are inconvenient. So I don't know what to say. It'd be like, hi, I can't make your meetings on this day, but if there's any other, you know, thing that I could do, and I'm sure I could work that out. I just have to communicate with other human beings first, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But no, I would love to do these things because I feel like it would make me better in this field that is hopefully music business, last time I checked.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would like to be able to offer those, because Mad Stop is, because since, you know, that's the first thing, the first club, I guess, that I came to here, that's kind of where my loyalties lie. So anything that I get better in from other clubs would hopefully benefit this club to help it move forwards, kind of thing. But no, I'm definitely interested in like PMBC. I'm interested in this place.
Yeah.
This place.
The wild adventure of college radio.
it seems fun. I'm interested in SES because I'm seeing, not to call you old, but I'm seeing a lot of old hands eventually. You know,
Yeah,
these
we're all
hands are
leaving.
going to disappear, and then
Yeah.
everything's going to slip through, and you never know. And yeah.
Yeah, and there's like nothing scarier than knowing that you're graduating and like a bunch of other, like a handful of people are graduating, and you're like, oh gosh, like what's gonna happen to this
Yeah.
club?
Yeah.
Like, are the people in this club ready to start taking over these positions and like, you know, start to reach out to younger crowds and get more people to come in? So you know, it's worrisome, but I think a lot of it is kind of leaning on each other because, you know, we kind of have some big names, we kind of have some big positions, like, you know, for example, PR. I don't want to say it's one of the easiest ones, but I think in comparison to something, for example, is like in Mad Stop, like a studio exec. I'm not exactly sure of the exact position, but like someone who you know, sits down and actually writes out the schedules for the artists and like puts people on sessions to learn how to record. We have a somewhat similar position here, which serves as our vice president, who like makes the entire schedule and goes around asking DJs, when are your shows? And we have to go in order of oldest DJ to newest DJ to kind of make it fair and make sure that people are getting chances to like choose show times. And not only that, but we also have to like, you know, figure out ways to get trainees in to start training. And, you know, there's so many, they can't just train with one DJ. They need to learn how to DJ from different perspectives. And so it's very stressful for just like one person to do. So we kind of lean on each other because of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you. No, it's a whole community.
Yeah. And like that's what's fun, is like being able to like be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. I know you're not in this club. Can you help with this?
That's MadFest 2019.
Yeah.
Y'all. That's
And
come
like,
see it. It's a train. No, it's not a train wreck.
Like SES has helped Mad Stop to help in the past, like Springfest. I think a few years ago, like,
oh yeah,
we started saying like, if you help with Springfest, you become a member of our club. And that's actually how we got some new members, was some MadFest people like helped out and they joined our club.
That's an idea.
But like it's, you know, just find ways to like kind of give like a warm welcome to people and let them know like, we love you. We're struggling too. But we can struggle together and make magic happen. And that's how music works.
Yep, that's it.
It's kind of just a bunch of people struggling when you think about it. It's
They
the artist
say
being
artists
sad
are
and
the
making
most
music.
depressed people sometimes.
Yeah,
but
visual
depression
artists too.
creates art. Yeah.
This is kind of a little bit, I guess, in terms of collaboration. I have a bunch of friends here who are not only art majors, but are in clubs like Student Art Association. And I had been toying with this idea of maybe reaching out to them and maybe finding ways to, if we have an artist who isn't really sure of like an album artwork, maybe having them work with some people from the art department. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. The art department, and figure out like what maybe they're envisioning or what their aesthetic is and how they can kind of put it on a CD or album cover or a single cover. I think it's just a great way to kind of bring all our clubs together, because the thing is, visual art and music are two different things, yes, but at the end of the day, it all comes from like what's in here. And we all need to like kind of lean on each other, because, you know, without music, the visual of like film would not be the same. But when it comes to music, you don't just hear it, you like envision things, you envision like colors, and sometimes music is what inspires art, and it kind of just all falls back on each other. And so like I guess like a goal is not, I guess we have like a lot of goals and possible ways of achieving them, but so many goals, so many but so many. I don't know, do you have any like potential ideas of like things we could do? Like, are there any film clubs on campus we could reach out to and maybe make music videos for our artists? Who knows? Like, I don't know. I know. I'm sorry, I'm like asking random questions. I know you're new, but like,
no, I haven't seen anything of like this. I haven't even seen like photography. Is there a photography club?
There might be. I know there's photography classes.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Honestly, I even contacted the lady from MadFest. I was like, hey, if some of your students want to do this and you want to work that in somehow for like work or credit or something, let me know. And I gave her the opportunity, but she never got back to me. That's totally fine. But no, I thought that would have been a cool opportunity. I feel like there, you know, there's some clubs, for example, like this. There's a radio station. Awesome. There's a record label.
awesome. But I feel like there's a lot of other little pieces that make these big pieces possible.
Yeah.
Like, it would be really cool to have, like, I don't know what it'd be called, a cinematography or something like that, because I don't know what we offer, and I feel like a lot of it is what we offer major-wise here. So, like, we have music business as a major, so surprise, we have a record label and we have a radio station. We're just kind of in the music business industry, and I don't know if we have, like, a film major or something like that. But
I believe we have a film minor.
Oh, that's cool.
I could be wrong, but
come on, minor folks, get it together.
Yeah, minors.
I'm joking.
Another thing
Not
that
those
would
minors.
be
Anyways.
Another thing that would be fun too is since we're located right in Crane, and we have a lot of friends that, you know, sometimes we reach out to, but sometimes artists who are, or performers rather, that are willing to lend their time. Something that might be fun and interesting is to have composers or artists work with, you know, filmmakers and even like create scores and help record those scores in our studio, or, you know, in the piano rooms, and we, you know, bring all of our equipment out and like record out in like the big old piano rooms outside of the studio, to get like that different sound. It'd be very exciting to help out, you know, show that like we don't, you know, we record a lot of things. Something that we also record that I actually found out, I think this year, that we also record like demo reels and like,
oh heck yeah,
you know,
we
like
do. And
comedians,
audition tapes,
poetry, like
anything that can be recorded, we can pretty much do. Pretty
much any like auditory thing that you do, any auditory art that you do. Like, we want to help you get that out there, you know. And I kind of want to break that stereotype that we only do music. I want to start reaching out to our comedians in the area and poets in the area and remind them that you matter and your art is awesome, and we want to make it pop. DJ, blow my speakers up tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, like, some of these clubs just nobody knows they exist. Like, one of my teachers, she's like, oh, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, you know, spending 6 hours in Mad Stop Studios today, you know. She's like, wild recording. Yeah, exactly. What is that? Where is that? And it's like, wow. To me, this seems like an obvious answer. It's downstairs.
Yeah.
But, you know, it goes back to marketing. It's just a big endless cycle.
Yeah, what's always exciting is when, like, someone will, you, like, bring up something like you know, regardless of what club it is, you'll bring it up and they'll be like, oh my goodness. Or, like,
yeah, right.
Or, like, Mark Ernesti,
heck of a guy.
Bless this man, music business head guy, was like, oh, we have a student who is interested in the radio station, and I know you're involved in that. Can you, you know, and like, you know,
exactly
yeah, exactly. And when he first came here, one of his goals was trying to find ways to get the music business students to start getting involved with PMBC and, you know, Mad Stop, and not just those, but even the Way radio station, because we're not connected to Crane. And although Mad Stop technically isn't connected to Crane, we are like right in Crane, and we have the easiest access to musicians there. And PMBC is obviously a part of Crane as well, I believe. So I think it's great to kind of like show, especially not just music students, like everybody, of course, but for music students who are very serious about like the more classical side of things and like the jazzy side of things, to see that there are like different aspects of the music industry that they can, you know, get their hands wet in and build their resumes and build, you know, their networking and you know, have something to maybe do in their spare time, or, you know, when you're out in the world somewhere, like even if you're like a performer, you're like a teacher, you know, maybe you need to make a little extra money, or maybe you have a friend who's involved in some kind of art project and they're like, do you know anything about mixing, or do you know anything about like using like microphones or stage setup? And you can be like, oh yeah, I was in a club in college where I learned the proper way to set up a mic stand, or something silly like that. But it's like cute things like that, cute little skills like that you can build on,
little ones.
But yes, it's getting to be that time where we are tired.
Oh yes.
I mean, I'm already tired
all the time,
but I just want to give a friendly reminder. I keep saying that, but it's because I want to be your friend.
Unfriendly reminder.
I'll give you an unfriendly reminder, you nerds.
Yeah.
If you don't check out MadFest, it's because you're not cool. But in all seriousness, MadFest is happening May 5th. It's Sunday, May 5th. It's going to be outside the Student Union around Beck. Starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 10 p.m. And if you want to come check it out, please do. It'll be fun, honestly. Even if you're just walking by with your friends and you kind of just hear music and you kind of wander along. feel free to join in and have fun with us. And if you're really interested in music and recording and learning how to network with artists and be hospitable with people, Mad Stop might be the place for you. You should check us out. We have meetings every Fridays at 5 p.m. in Crane in the Dean's Conference Room. But unfortunately, we're not having one this weekend because of break. But fortunately, we have break. So get some sleep, get some rest, and think about what you could be doing in your spare time, like the radio station or the record label. Hillstone, do you have any closing remarks that you would like to make?
Just wander on over on May the 5th. There's something there for you. We got some games there. We got some music. We even might have water. Just come and wander by and we'll see what we can do for you.
The water is a potential. You're going to be thirsty all day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, it's going to be a dope time. It's going to be fun. If you want to get involved, check us out.
Heck yeah.
But as for us, I'm very tired, and if you couldn't notice by my speech patterns, I need some sleep. So unfortunately, we're going to have to peace out. So if you could do me a huge favor, keep it locked. Keep it. Hey, keep it locked. On the way.